Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. Wait, now there we go. Hey, good afternoon, Shaggy SoCal with 2 for Forza, and time for the next round of track guides in this Holden Torana. So we'll get straight to the point. I think the first race this coming Thursday is a Brands Hatch Indy. So I'm going to go run a couple laps to kind of warm up. Then I will kind of do a slow kind of track walk to kind of point out the things I'm looking for and what I think the car is doing. I think the car wants and what the car likes. And then because I need to practice, because I do need to practice, so I'll run a mock race against the AI just to give me some traffic and see what kind of rhythm I can get into. So with that, before we get into this, let's go to the car. I do need to set fuel and tire. Yep, still on medium. Good. Medium at 50% fuel. That's good for these demo laps. All right. And I'm check one other thing here. Just want to check the settings, make sure brake position line off, manual clutch. Yep, we're good there. Okay, let's go ahead and start this. And let me adjust headset volume. Use gear shift. What gear do I need to be in? Third, fourth. There we go. A little too much braking there. That's a little bit late. Take those markers out. Yeah, still got to figure Surtees into McLaren out. All right, we'll do one more. Fourth gear. I'm gonna put it in fifth. Braking just past the end of the Armco. Not into sixth. Yeah, that was my problem on Thursday. Though to try and switch and start using the flappy paddles, I think it's going to be more difficult. No, second. I said I was going to do one more. I want to do one more. Yeah, I think that does need a little bit of a brake, check brake going in just to get some weight in the front tires. Okay. So back onto the Bradman Straight, let's do the track walk. This is going to be a very, the Brands Hatch Indy circuit is a very, very short lap time. So don't be scared when you see the lap count for Thursday. But anyhow, heading down the Bradman Straight into Paddock Hill Bend. For me, I'll be in fifth gear. The braking is right about, for me, in reverse, is right about where the end of pit wall is here, where the Armco ends. I can see the orange little bit, markings on the wall on the Armco on the left side. There is kind of the pseudo 2 braking board heading into Paddock Hill Bend. So that's what I'll be using to kind of gauge where I need to brake. I'll drop it down to fourth. I think most of the time on my own, I'll want to do this one in fourth. If I'm in traffic and things check up, may have to drop it to third. So, but for me, a brake. I'm going to be looking to release the brake. If I've done it right, I'll be releasing the brake somewhere, where this kind of access road goes off the green here, but it's about where that darker, repaved asphalt starts, the dark pavement square. That seems to be, when I was running practice laps earlier, that seems to be about the point where I'm kind of fully kind of coming off the brake, turning in, starting to think about getting back onto the throttle. But again, fourth gear, down in. If I do it right, get the cars right to the curb, start rolling into the throttle on the way out. I'll probably use a bit of the exit curve here and cross over. Curbing here at Brands Hatch, not that bad compared to Hockenheim. That's a whole other run. But out of Paddock Hill Bend, heading up towards Druids. For me, it's usually the pedestrian bridge here is always really, really good reference point to kind of gauge, when you need to go on the brakes. I think for me, it's right about, come on, it's right about where the orange arm code barrier ends there. So it's somewhere between there and the bridge. I think the bridge is a little too late for me in this car. Certainly you have the one braking board there as well. So figure out, again, I'm not writing the braking line, so I don't have that reliable source to go off of. So I got to kind of gauge off of other things that I'm finding on the left side of the track. For Druids, this is another one of those where I think it's going to be driver's preference. It's third gear or second gear, and it just depends on. For me, I think ideally, if I get my braking right and I'm on my own, I'm just running laps. I'm not under pressure, or I'm not putting someone under pressure trying to work a pass. I'll probably do it in third. If I've missed my braking, or we're in traffic, second gear is probably probably works best. Again, it's all that, and a lot of the other track guides talk about, do you want the car on its toes or on its heels? And certainly dropping down the lower gear with this car seems to give you a little more weight in the front tires, gives you a little more point on turn in. So really that'll be feel. But again, whichever gear you're in, I still tend to take this. Well, we'll see. We'll see what I do when I actually start driving laps. But sometimes I try to look at it as a late apex turn. Uh, Instead of doing the classic apex in the middle, I probably take it a little bit past that to straighten up the downhill. So I'll probably get on the curbing here a little bit, start to roll back into the throttle. Wheel spin's going to be a big thing. Depending how aggressive you are on the throttle and how much steering you got in, just understand that this car, because of the way it's sprung, because of the way the shocks are, it's going to be very easy to get the back tires to spin, to get the back end to kick out as you're coming out of these corners. So, and for me, it doesn't matter if it was second or third gear. So just be mindful of your throttle as you're coming out of the turn. So you can use it to help rotate the car if you need to, but it can also get you into trouble. And as we've learned, the back end of this car, especially underweight from turning and from weight transfers, the back of the car gets really light. Does not take that much to spin somebody. So heading out of Druids down towards, I believe this is Graham Hill Bend. This was one of the turns that's difficult for me to. It's one of those. When I get into rhythm, I tend to keep the car on the left side a little bit, and especially early on, and then kind of let the track kind of shoot me across to the right side to set up the corner. I think on that car that this car's a little bit dangerous. So if I'm probably, as I get up to rhythm, I'll probably start moving the car to the right a little bit sooner coming down the hill, so that I'm a little bit more aligned with the right side of the course, getting to this first curbing. So third gear here at this point for me, the braking is the braking is going to be between the one board there and where the curbing starts, probably closer to where that curbing starts, just as I'm getting to it. But it's a third gear. I'm going to stay off this curbing. I don't want to do anything that's going to upset the right side of this car, trying to make this left-hander. As I stall the car again, I'll just put it neutral and drift. So again, turn in here. If I do it right, I am actually going to get my left sides on the inside curbing here. Start to roll back into the throttle. roll back into the throttle, still third gear, out to the curbing, use a bit of that curbing on the way out, and on to the Cooper Straight. Third gear, fourth gear. Now heading into Surtees. Now Surtees, it's weird because you think of these. I think the way the track map goes is that there's three distinct corners leading back onto the front straight. So we have Surtees here, which is the left-hander that also leads onto the straight heading toward the back half of the GP course. For Surtees, this is what I'm going to be playing around with. I think in some cases you can just, if you time it right, you can just release the throttle and turn in. You may want to give it a little bit of check brake, just a little bit of brake just to get some weight transfer to the front to get the front tires to bite. But for me, it's fourth gear. I haven't really felt the need to downshift it to third yet through here. But again, start to turn in at the one board. If I do it right, I actually will get the left side tires onto the thicker part of the curbing here, and so it points me straight in here into McLaren. This is the other one for me without the braking line. This is probably the hardest corner for me to get consistently. What I'm going to try and do is coming out of Surtees and kind of coming back across the track, I'm going to clip this curbing late, and when I hit the curbing and I get to the curbing here on the right side, it's just past that I'm going to brake for McLaren. And this is where I will probably put it in third gear. I don't need to go all the way out to the left side, as you can even kind of see the discoloration, on the track from the previous track rubber that's been laid down. It gets very gray out to the left side, so you don't need to use all the track to set up for McLaren. Maybe you get about mid-track, third gear. I'm going to try, and if I do it right, I'm going to try and get the car turn back in so that I'm clipping the apex where the red and white curbing widens out here. So that's a good, and looking at the width of the curbing, when it gets to its widest, that's about a good place to use as an apex marker. To get it to here, still third gear, roll the car out. I'm going to let the car come out, maybe about mid-track. Try to bring it back across. Again, the way Clark curve here is, and the way actually it's more about the car than the track, but just because the car, you're cresting a hill down in, you got a little bit of banking, but not too much. This is also going to be another place where just mind your throttle, understand that when the rear spin up, that you can keep the back of the car in check. Um, so, it's like I'm hearing voices. That's the loudspeaker on the game audio. So again, just roll up third gear. Now, where I differ from the racing line a little bit is usually in upshifting, getting onto the Brabham straight, is I'll clip it back here to the inside, hug the inside here a little bit, and then just let the car kind of naturally come back out mid-track, out to the left side, setting up for turn one and Paddock Hill Bend. So that's Brands Hatch Indy. This is going to be an interesting race. Very, very short lap. Only a couple prime places to pass, but I think a flowy enough track, and if someone messes up a braking, that's probably the openings that we're going to be looking for, versus trying to there's just not enough. I don't think there's enough straight to get a good draft to get by somebody. It's really going to be just they got a bad exit, and then you get the draft, and that'll set up here. That'll help set you up for the different corners. So with that, I'm gonna pause here briefly because again, it's all about managing Twitch streaming issues through the Xbox. So I'm going to reset that'll hopefully reset the audio, and then I'm going to run the mock race against the AI just to see what traffic is like, and see how good the driver tires are. Some tracks they're okay, some tracks not so much. So let's go ahead and pause this. I'll be right back. Oh wait, it would help to take my foot off the pedals. Live streaming. Pause. Okay, and I got to reset the mic again, so hang on. Okay, so we're back. Advanced race setup. Holden. Alright, you would think I would just have these saved by now, but nah, I like running through the menus. We'll do circuit race. I'll worry about the later brands. Indy, number of laps. That's the ballpark. I would say 39 is probably going to be on the high end. I would probably, knowing Matt, to try and keep things odd to make split tire strategies easier to manage. 37 to 39 is the range. Starting time of day, random. And we'll check that at the end too, based on race time. Time progression, 24, because we like that. We'll do random here again, but if it rains, I don't know. That's the other random thing here with this. We have talked about, or Matt has mentioned about if rain happens or not. We haven't had rain yet. I don't know if he's going to do that. I don't think so, but who knows? I'm certainly not going to run one Wayne. No, I'm not going to run rain. That's usually on driver car difficulty 8. Number of drivatars 23. All of the drivatars. Cars, that's fine. Rules, sport rules, because we only want fuel and tire. Standing start, random, and mandatory pit stops. Okay, let's go. Yeah. I like the night, but I don't like the rain.
The Brands Hatch Indy layout is short and fast, with only one major uphill braking zone. Passing can happen anywhere on this track.
Yes, but again, as I was kind of saying earlier, yes, braking, the prime place to pass somebody is the braking zone into Druids. As far as passing everywhere else, that really is going to be more passes of opportunity, where you got a really good exit. Maybe the other person in front of you hasn't, and you can try and squeak on the inside. But probably wouldn't surprise me. It depends how many of us show up on Thursday. This is one where it'd be awesome to get 18 of us out here, because that will create some good lap traffic situations. But I'm talking too much. I don't like the late rain, but I like starting at 10 p.m. So let's go to event setup. Let's re-roll the weather. And I swear there's probably something in the algorithm for setting up the random where it's like, where's it taking place? Oh, it's taking place in England. So rain conditions, 50% greater chance of getting rain conditions on random. So let's try again. Yeah, rainstorm. That's not the direction I wanted you to go, Forza. Patchy fog. I can deal with patchy fog. Okay. All right, so 39 laps, Brands Hatch Indy, 10 p.m. at night. That means we'll be racing into the sunrise in patchy fog with, well, I would say questionable drivatars and a questionable driver. So let's go ahead and start race. Where am I starting? About mid-pack. So I think... I'm just trying to figure out, I do want to get out of the AI's way. I do want to drop back, but I'm just, oh shit. Pardon my French. Let's go restart race. Yeah, I forgot to set fuel and tires because I need to mimic what I'm actually going to be doing. So 39 laps, we got a 52 lap tank. So wow, this is one of the first times we're actually, for those of us that aren't refueling or that are setting our fuel, we can actually run quite a bit less fuel in the car. But I do want to start on the hard compound. Now let's start race. Okay. Oh, it looks like I'm a little further back, and I'm on the left side, which is good. So I'm just going to pull off in the gravel and let everybody by. First lap, obviously, it's just kind of getting a feel for the car. What is it doing? Just going to take it easy this lap. All right, I'll take that move. Bye. Okay. Drivatar's playing for keeps today. Yeah, the curving isn't too dangerous here. Yeah, you can get on it. It's not going to upset the car too much. Just a little bit of check brake there to help get the nose turning. Oh, that was almost... How did you wind up all the way on the left side there? What if these guys have like BTCC mode turned on? Because I'm seeing more cars off the track than on it. Elbows are out. So the white line on the pavement there, especially at night, that's also... So I'm just pointing out things I'm looking at as I'm driving through here. Again, trying to find reference points. Come on, fourth gear. And that's what I'm finding is when I'm nice and calm and relaxed, I usually don't have any problems trying to, finding gears. It's usually just when I start getting into racing situations, especially on Thursday nights where I get a little clunky with my gear shifts, and then it's like, no, not sixth, third. Just have to be nice and calm and relaxed. Oh, that was a little too far out to the right side or left side. A lot of brake lights, just back off a little bit. No rush. We've got 39 laps around this track to do. But I will take a look on the inside here. This I will put it in second. Third early just because I'm in traffic. Now don't hit me. Nice pass. I don't get to say that often about the drive cars. So I'm finding on the R's braking a little bit earlier, but then I can get out of the brakes a little bit earlier into Paddock Hill Bend there. Pushed it a little too much. That's 6th, not 4th. Nice little battle here with Neil Warren. Oh, way too wide. If you do find you get wide, you've got that patch there from the Grand Prix circuit that you can use to kind of get the car situated. Looks like a Torana beside me. Who is that? Rodeo! Side, crossover, nope. Really see if I can get a run out of this corner. Oh, I'm over here. Ooh, I almost went off there. That's where I just have to be careful of that little kink there coming down the hill. And I don't want to get to a point where, where I drop the right sides off and just have the car just all of a sudden lurch on me as I'm trying to turn. It'll probably happen. Be nice if it didn't. So let me see. Just see how third gear does. Oh, almost did it again. And the car just pushes through there, so. And I'm risking going off on the left side there for Paddock Hill on the setting up for the entry. So I just need to leave myself a little bit more room there. It's a little bit late, but we'll salvage it as best we can. Bye! Or you saw that. He went left. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll go right. be a little bit better on the brakes there. Yeah, I think I'm braking a little bit earlier than I need to for Paddock Hill. We'll try be a little more aggressive next lap, but also I gotta remember that I'm on the harder compound right now, so. That's the other thing is leave yourself some wiggle room out of Clark Curve on the left side, because you got a little bit of curb there, but it goes straight to gravel. A little bit of a run, but not enough to dive bomb into the corner, so go down to third just to make sure I get a good line out. Okay, I'll take the outside. Whoop. Looking at what was going on behind me and almost got in the back of the Cooper. Oh, got a nice run here. A little inside because he's braking a little bit later, but still pins me on the outside for Druids. Okay. So we'll try the run here out of Graham. Nope, we got a better exit. Again, you can leave it in third, but you'll bang the red limiter right at the end of the straight. So up to you, whatever works best. End of lap 20, we can go pit for mediums. All the curve. So easy to overdrive the exit. Bit of a run, let's take a look. That's part of why I do these things, is to practice questionable moves. Yeah, I can brake at the braking board on the left side. A little bit wider than I wanted to go. And again, this is a torquey motor, so I don't really run it out, up into the red there before I upshift. So maybe about 6,500 at most, unless I'm totally distracted. Thankfully, pitting at Brands Hatch in this Forza Motorsport is easier than the previous ones. No more chicane or tire bundles to destroy, just straight in. And it catches pretty early too. All right. Medium tires, skeep. And get a quick drink. I haven't practiced pit out, so again, it's pit exit. You're just going to keep it on the right side, and hopefully you don't get sideswiped by a faster car going into Patico Bend. Let's see. So first, second, third, brake right at the orange mark at the end of the Armco. That should then allow you to get into the corner in third gear. If someone's on your outside, you can leave room, and then you're on your way. Oh, I can already tell the grip. You guys running on soft tires, run a few practice laps on hards for a second. It'll make you appreciate what you've got. Hey, there's Stu. Apex a little bit there, but hopefully the tire should be up to temp by the next lap. Oh yeah, the grip. It's nice too that Brands Hatch is fairly well lit at night. Sorry, I can't talk and drive at the same time. On your right, Stu. Wow. Oh. Okay. That might be a penalty. Nope. I just realized now that we're kind of going into sunrise and the headlights are turned off, it's much more difficult to see. Wow. hopefully it'll get a little better here once the sun fully comes up. It should make the fog a little less dense. At least I think. We'll find out. Yeah, that white line is definitely a good other kind of reference to use. Whoa, come on. And Brad's in the wrong car. What are you doing in a Mini Cooper? Take a little look. Push, 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 push. If there's a corner I'm going to go wide on, that's going to be the corner. Wow, 4th through 7th all right together. Is never really going to work there unless you can force the crossover. There, that's what I'm talking about. You know, again, capitalizing on mistakes. Remy got a little bit loose, and it was enough for me to get that run. Take a look at Brad. Looking inside, Brad. I left him room. Can't say I didn't leave room. It's not my fault if his drive tar sucks. So I'm racing Flocka, but Flocka still has to pit, so... a little look. Graham, this corner's not one that I tend to pass into. It's mostly just trying to capitalize on exit and maybe get a shot into Surtees. Oh, lock the rears. Oh, I gotta run. I'm gonna take... Okay, forget what I said about passing. Walking down to third just because I don't know where that car was. Okay, so first and second still at the pit, so effectively I am the leader. Fog has gotten a little bit better now that we're a little further into the morning. Okay, that inside curving, I hit that a little more than I really wanted to. Come on, fourth gear. That's what happens when I get all ham-fisted with the gear shift. Funny thing is, if I were to try and switch to do this on the flappy paddles, I'd probably be slower. Because you kind of get into that muscle memory cadence. Stay there. Okay, 1.6 behind me. And Taber Smash still needs to pit. And that fog into Graham Hill here is still really bad. A little bit late. Just gotta work with it. Oof. Okay, so maybe let's see if I can improve on that 52.013. Now that I'm kind of in clear traffic and low fuel. Pushing a little bit. It's kind of interesting. It's like, even though I don't have, the weather's not set to variable, the fog definitely is moving a little bit. Out of rhythm. There goes Ron. See that? Brad tried to take me out. Oh, lost sight of the curb. Just reset.
Three left.
Yeah, just not that fog. That fog bank is like perfectly placed where I can't see the inside apex of that curbing in McLaren. Supplies. Ooh. Fourth gear.
One more lap.
Thank God. And that is 39 laps at Brands Hatch Indy. What's the race time at? 35. Wow. If I did well, then yeah, 39 laps is in the ballpark. Maybe it might actually go up to 41, but you know, it's going to be a lot of laps. The number's going to startle a bunch of us, but it's such a short lap at Brands Hatch Indy. So that'll do it for this track guide. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to go from a nice flowy natural terrain circuit to Hockenheim, which has curbs that will want to kill you. So I'll take a short break and be back in a little bit to do that track guide. Hope you're having a great weekend. See you guys on track soon. Happy racing. Oh wait, I always forget. I need to do the podium celebrations. You know, hey, Stu got on the podium. Nicely done, Stu. DK in second. That's what I'm doing inside the helmet. Okay, enough of that. See you guys in a little bit. Happy racing. before I do that. Well, I'll stop the stream first. Then I'll do that other stuff. Be right back.